and this is where Ole Miss students often hang out. The square is one of the last places that anyone saw Allie alive. Security camera footage appears to show her checking in at one bar and then continuing on down the sidewalk near Roosters, walking by herself. The Lafayette County Sheriff's Department said Allie did make it home that night at about midnight, but for some reason, she left the house again. Her roommates said they didn't hear her leave, and they have no idea why she did. After that, when more CCTV footage was investigated, another security camera caught Allie in a gas station with a guy, and that guy was identified as Brandon Thiesfield. So who's this guy, you ask, and why is Allie out with him at friggin' midnight? Well, this guy was, according to Allie, her on-again, off-again boyfriend. But if you ask him, they were never together, but we'll get into that. So, when I look at pictures of this case, when I research this case, photos from back in 2016 show Allie and Brandon together. They're smiling, they're at parties, they have their arms around each other, and they just look like a genuine happy couple. But a close friend of Allie's, a girl named Samantha, who's from St. Louis, says she visited Allie 4 times down in Oxford at Ole Miss. And she says, oh no, they were never a couple. Samantha says they honestly just talked like off and on for 3 years that she was there, but the two never officially dated. So really, they were like friends with benefits or something. Samantha said, I met a lot of Allie's friends down there. I was around him a few times, but I don't know, I just heard that he wasn't very nice from multiple people, that he never treated girls very well, and that he was just a scumbag. I'm gonna second that, Samantha. I don't even know you. We don't live far apart, but you right. Anyway, a former college housemate of Allie's, a girl named Lauren Riddick, also witnessed that trait in her friend. Along with how this quality made her vulnerable when her positive feelings were not returned. She said, Allie would talk to us about guys, about a specific guy, but she would never reveal his name. Lauren said she'd be crying. She would tell us like bits and pieces of what was going on that day, but this was like months and months before this actual incident happened. And her friends would try to be supportive of Allie, you know, as far as what she was sharing with them. And they would just be there for her. But Allie was the type of girl that she was so kind. She just kept wanting to fix this guy. She kept thinking, I can forgive whatever he did. He'll change. It'll be different this time. So she kept putting herself in this situation over and over and over. And to try to help him and not really kind of recognize what he did to her, which I've been that person. Now, Allie did not explain to her housemates why she was stuck on this unnamed guy, says Lauren, but she says that I think she knew if she told us, we would probably be really concerned and worried about her. I don't know that she wanted the attention or that she just didn't want us to be worried for her and intervene. But Lauren, nonetheless, knew that Allie had a connection to Brandon. She also said, I would say they had a complicated relationship and an on and off one, but at no point did she say he was her boyfriend. So I got it wrong at the beginning of this video. I thought she did say that. But either way, he's using you, girl. Other people heard Allie mention Brandon repeatedly, both in conversations and in text messages. Another student, Rex Ravita, who lived on the same dorm floor as Brandon during their freshman year at Ole Miss, recalled that he once saw Allie at a friend's house just crying over him. Rex says he would call her and say, "Come over," and then completely ditch her and go out with another girl, or tell her that he loved her and then deny that he ever said it. They were not exclusive, but she was definitely on the hook for him, he says. And Brandon just led her on really badly. I know this is a lot of accounts of people, but I wanted to give you kind of a feel for this case. Another one of Allie's friends posted on Twitter. He harassed her for years. He took advantage of her for years. I spent countless nights holding Allie close, drying her tears about this monster for years. And it says, "You deserve everything you're getting, you disgusting accuse for a human. Hashtag justice for Allie. You will never diminish her sunshine." Samantha, who was Allie's classmate at Lindbergh, says Allie had a beautiful soul. She was the type of person that always made sure everyone was included. She never ever met a stranger, and she was just a bright light in all of our lives. When she and another person would have a disagreement, like normal high school girls do, she would always be like, "They're just being so sassy. I don't know why they're being so mean." And I would say to her, "Allie, it is okay to be mad at people. It is okay that people are not as nice as you." Samantha says she would always tell her, "The rest of the world is not going to be as nice as you are. And you need to realize that so you don't get your feelings hurt so much." I'm kind of that person. I kind of try to be nice to everyone, even if they're mean to me, so I really feel a connection to this girl. She's like from my town. I know where she went to high school. She was younger than me, so I didn't know her, but anyway. So this brings us back to 2019. On April 12th, 2019, Allie was talking with Brandon, and she told him that she thought she might be pregnant. 2 days later, she sent him a photo of an inconclusive pregnancy test. She then tried to meet with him for months. She wanted to talk to him. She wanted to know what he wanted to do. They were separated sort of for the summer, and she just really was scared, and she really wanted to talk to this guy about what was next. Brandon, nice guy that he was, his internet search history reveals that he searched for abortion pills and abortion services. He said that he would agree to meet with Allie and then not show up or back out at the last minute for a variety of reasons. Now, we're not going to get into any pro-choice or pro-life comments. I understand why he researched what he did, but for you to cowardly back out of every single meeting knowing that this girl is freaking out is just what makes you a jerk. On July 12th, 2019, Brandon finally texts Allie and he says, "I don't want to meet up with you, and if you are pregnant, you should just terminate it." He then mysteriously travels back to the Dallas-Fort Worth area where he is from. He posts a photo on Instagram of a .40 caliber Glock pistol with a caption, "I'm finally taking my baby back to Oxford." He also then searches the internet for silencers and suppressors for the weapon, which was actually purchased by his father in Texas. On July 16th, he drives back to Oxford polls that said that it was from anywhere to 2 to 8. So just before 10:30 a.m., Allie's body is discovered by deputies of the Lafayette County Sheriff's Department. At the scene, 11 .40 caliber casing shells were found. Allie's purse was found about 1/3 of a mile away from the scene. Ballistics tests confirmed that the casings and the bullets found inside Allie's body matched the pistol that Brandon brought back from Oxford, or to Oxford, from Texas. Police moved really quickly on this case. They contacted Brandon that same day, and they asked him if he would come in and speak with them, mostly because of that CCTV footage that they found of her and him at that gas station. He did his usual, sure, yeah, I'll come, and then he didn't. So they call him back, and he's like, oh yeah, I've been drinking, so I can't come in and talk to you right now because I don't want to talk to you while I'm intoxicated. He agrees to come in early the next morning on July 22nd, but once again, he no-shows police, and then he runs. The day after Allie's body was found, a manhunt cornered Brandon 90 miles away at a gas station in a residential neighborhood of Memphis, Tennessee. It's not in a place where you would find somebody on a Monday morning at 9:30 unless they live there. They kind of kept quiet about how they found him, but they were obviously tracking like his phone and his debit cards, so they pinged him there and police caught him. They brought Brandon back to Oxford, where a grand jury handed down a capital murder charge for Allie's death. There was a letter, a 2-page letter found at Brandon's apartment after he killed Allie, in which he addressed his family, and it read in part, "I'm not a good person. It is not your fault. Something inside me just doesn't work. I've always had terrible thoughts. I've always had these feelings. I just kind of felt off. I think this is the end for me. I'm either going to prison or I'm going to die. I know I'm going to get caught." More than 2 years after authorities found her body, Alexandria, or Allie, Kostial's murderer, confessed. He pled guilty, and, as I said, he was sentenced by a grand jury. Originally, he said he had nothing to do with it, but he changed his story. He pled guilty to first-degree murder. He acknowledged in court that he drove Allie to the lake before shooting her several times. Initially, he was charged with capital murder. However, under the terms of his plea deal, the Texas man no longer faces a possible death sentence and will instead spend the rest of his life in prison. The one thing he never told anyone, still to this day, since he was literally just sentenced, was why. He apologized in court for Allie's killing. He said, quote, "I am sincerely sorry for the pain I've caused while taking Allie away from you. My actions have forever changed your lives and your family's lives. I wish I could take it all back, but I can't. There's no excuse for my actions, and I have asked God for forgiveness such a sweet soul in Ellie. Every time your cell door slams shut, may it be a reminder of what you did and the life you took away from us. So, I think that this case, sorry, I know I got a little dark, I had to close the document and then pull it back up because I forgot. So, when I first started researching this, Brandon had not yet been sentenced, so I kind of set it on the back burner. For a while, his hearing was pushed because of COVID, and I never ever could, like, he never made any statements at all. Like, he denied everything. Obviously, they knew it was him based on the bullets and the casings and everything. This case was incredibly sad to me. So I was very confused, and maybe you are too. She sends him a message in April, and she sends him an inconclusive pregnancy test, but this all happened in July. So I have to wonder, did she not take another test? Did she not go to the doctor? Like, prenatal care is quite important. Why did she not do any of that? And then potentially, because we all know he killed her because he thought she was pregnant, right? I mean, right? Tell me if you're thinking incorrectly, or differently than me, not incorrectly. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe that's what I was trying to say. He killed her because he thought she was pregnant, but really they didn't have any proof that she was pregnant. It was just one inconclusive test. Why didn't she go find out if she was actually pregnant? And the reason I ask this, I am in no way blaming Ellie. She is a victim here, but she could have kept her own life if she had just really found out if she was pregnant or not. I mean, this dude seems like the type of guy that he would have just completely blown her off if he was done with her. But he thought she was pregnant, so he thought, I've got to do something about it. I don't know. It seems like there was a great, now I didn't get to read their text messages or anything, but there was a great lack of communication as far as, I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, let's meet up and talk. That was a long time between April and July for her not to confirm. I'm sorry, I would want to know if I was pregnant or not. Now, I'm not saying that she didn't do any of this. I'm simply just saying I couldn't find any record of it. There was just not a lot to go on for details in this case. All I could really find was the statements from her friend and then the actual, like, reports from the news about this case. But I felt a connection to this girl. Her high school was, like, on the street where I drove a car for the first time. And she just, I don't know. I feel a connection with all of my cases, but I really felt a connection with this one because I've been in that situation where you're hooked on a guy who just treats you like dirt. And it is just sad that she lost her life over something so unnecessary, and I'm sad for her and her family. And personally, I hope that Brandon is suffering for what he has done, because you could have just made the girl pee on a stick and confirm it, dude. Like, creepazoid. Anyway, this is probably why karma kicks me in the face, because I don't wish anything good for this guy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week for another true crime video. Sean has a video that he is planning on putting out on Wednesday. I have to make him film it, and by make him, I mean bribe him to film it. Like, he always wants to film stuff, and then when it comes down to filming it, he's such a complainer. Like, we've gotten to the point where I'm like, then don't. Like, you are in no way obligated to put content on my channel. Sometimes I think he gets mad because I have a sort of successful channel and he doesn't, and I'm like, dude, I didn't do this to be successful. famous cases here on my channel. I've done a couple over on my Patreon. I'm considering doing another one. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling now, and I will see you guys next Sunday for another case. I think it'll be a solved one, unless I change my mind and do something different. Thank you guys so much for